Josh and Molly Go Camping, written by Samantha Eckert and illustrated by Samantha and Dallas Eckert. Josh was about to go on a camping trip for the first time with his family. He watched eagerly with his dog Molly at his side as Mom and Dad started loading the car with all sorts of supplies. In went their four-man tent, groceries, clothes, books, and toys. Finally, the car was packed. It was time to go. What an adventure this was going to be. "This is where we shall put our tent," said Josh. He was very excited to be camping and to sleep in his brand new sleeping bag. "Isn't this fun, Molly? We're going to sleep outside." Where was Molly? She wasn't standing by his side like she usually did. She was zigzagging all over the campsite, sniffing everything. Suddenly Molly stopped, put her nose straight up into the air, and bolted off like lightning towards the bushes. Dad quickly grabbed hold of Molly's collar and snapped on a leash.
"We're in the bush, not our backyard, Josh,"
said Dad.
"Make sure to hold on to Molly's leash so she doesn't get lost."
"Don't worry, Dad," said Josh confidently. "I would never let that happen." While his parents and older brother were unpacking the car and pitching their tent, Josh and Molly decided to explore around their campsite. The bushes around the campsite were filled with exciting new discoveries. As Josh and Molly explored the campsite, they started to play. They cast spells with a creepy old wizard tree, rode on a giant galloping tortoise, and had a spot of tea with the buttercup pixies in their secret garden. Later that day, the whole family hiked to the nearby dam. Molly was pulling so hard that her leash slipped through Josh's fingers. Josh's brother snatched up the leash.
"I'll hold her,"
he sighed.
"You're going to let her get away."
"No, I won't," said Josh, taking back the leash from his brother. When they finally made it to the dam, they rented a canoe. Everyone had to wear a life jacket, even Molly. Josh thought that Molly looked like a brave sea captain. The canoe glided onto the shimmering water. Josh loved the feeling of floating along. When they reached the middle of the dam, his parents stopped using the oars, and they started to drift, slowly with the current. It was so quiet that Josh could hear the clouds moving as they passed by overhead. It was so peaceful, and he didn't have to worry about Molly running off here. Josh looked over the side of the canoe. "Look!" he exclaimed. "I can see an underwater palace. Maybe it's the lost city of Atlantis."
"Those are just weeds,"
said his brother. Josh looked again. No, it was definitely an underwater palace. Maybe his brother needed glasses. After they returned their canoe to the shore, it was time for a picnic lunch. Josh ate a giant boerewors roll and at least 24 grapes. Molly had 2 bowls of dog cubes. Everything seemed to taste better outside, thought Josh to himself. When they finished lunch, Josh jumped up and asked, "Do you want to go play, Molly?" She pulled him towards the bushes. "We could pretend to be explorers in the jungle and try and find pirates' treasure. But be careful and watch out for lions. You stand guard right here, Molly," Josh instructed as he hooked Molly's leash over a branch. "And I'll climb up this tree to see if I can spot the pirates' cave." Crack! Josh heard the snap of a branch, and before he could even blink, Molly was racing away with the leash trailing behind her. "No, no, Molly," he yelled as loudly as he could. "Come back!" Oh no, where did Molly run off to? What if he couldn't find her? What if she was gone forever? No, he decided he would find her, even if he had to look under every leaf in the bushes. Josh blasted off like a rocket in search of Molly. He whizzed in and out of the maze of trees and bushes. "Molly!" he called, but she didn't come. After he leapt over a rushing stream and stopped next to a humongous rock, he heard a familiar, snuffling sound. Josh zoomed around to the other side, and there, sniffing around in circles around a pine tree, was Molly. "There you are, Molly!" he exclaimed, flinging his arms around her neck. "I'm so happy I found you!" Josh stood up and said, "Let's go back now." He looked around and realized that he wasn't sure how to get back to their campsite. He had run so far to find Molly that they could be hundreds of kilometers away. What if they needed a helicopter to bring them back to their campsite? Molly tried to climb a big rock. "Up here?" asked Josh. Holding Molly's leash extra tight, he climbed up onto the big rock. From this high up he could see the entire campsite. He saw the old wizard tree, and then when he looked down, he realized he was standing on the giant tortoise rock. Josh could even see their tent. Josh and Molly sprinted breathlessly back to their campsite. "Mom, Dad, guess what? We were searching for a pirate's treasure, but then Molly escaped into the bushes, and I chased after her forever. Then when I found her, we were both lost. But Molly helped me figure out where we were, and we made it back, all by ourselves."
You weren't lost,
said his older brother.
You were right over there. We could see you the whole time.
Josh looked back in the direction where they came from. It was really far away, but maybe his brother didn't need glasses after all. Later, after dinner, they toasted marshmallows around the fire. "Can you believe we're up so late, Molly?" Josh asked, staring up at the stars that seemed to cover the whole night sky. "Wow, there are even stars in the trees!" Josh exclaimed.
Those aren't stars,
his brother said.
They're fireflies.
"Fireflies?"
You should like them.
his brother said.
They're bugs that light up.
When it was time to go to sleep, Josh wriggled into his new sleeping bag with Molly. It had been a long day, and Josh was rather sleepy. "Good night, Molly. I love you," Josh whispered as he drifted off to sleep.
The end.